Welcome back. We're going to continue with E.V.O. Search for Eden. We're going to head back into this first level. According to this, we're still on the coast of Pange, but we've entered into the new era, the age of amphibians from the age of fish. There's a yellow crystal here. E.V.O. tip. Welcome to the world of amphibians. If you evolve your tail, you will increase your jumping ability and your HP. That'll be important since now jumping will be a factor since I no longer swim everywhere. Here we have the empty land. There's some plants here, but again I have to eat meat in order to get E.V.O. points. You hear someone whispering in the air above you. Captain, the green crystal has the power to change your body back to the way it was before, doesn't it? Yes. But Captain, isn't it wrong to operate the process in reverse? This crystal must be bad for the evolution process. Absolutely not. I will not take responsibility for anything that happens. It is still good for the future of this planet. And we get some new music here. This is music I believe is exclusive to E.V.O. Search for Eden. And you see this is the green crystal the voices were just talking about, so we'll pick it up and I'll show off what it is. It shows here, you have one chance to change a creature recorded in an earlier log. I can't do that right now because I have no record of any logs, so that item doesn't help me right now, but it'll come in handy later. So for now, let's move on to the next area. We have the Ocean of Pange. I think this is the last time we'll get to hear the ocean theme in the whole game. We got these fish here. Let's see. We are koala fish. It's very difficult for us to evolve or fight against other creatures, so we stay as we are. And don't let their look or what they just told you trick you. If you attack them, they're actually pretty vicious. Luckily, they won't attack me on their own. They'll only fight me if I attack them first. They're not even worth it, so they don't even give you that many E.V.O. points. So instead, we'll just pass them by. Yeah, it's funny because there'd be a later stage in the game where you go into the ocean again, but that theme doesn't come back. That's the last time we'll hear it. So next we'll move on to the third stage here, or the fourth, but so far we haven't gotten any action yet, but here's where we can. You can see this is the land of timid Ikustega. They look kind of like I do. I can attack them, they run away. If I can catch one, I can eat him for 10. Not a whole lot, and I can't reach the dragonflies up there, which are worth more. But I'll stick around and farm for a bit, if only because I want to get some upgrades. I can jump on enemies too to damage them. Funny enough, if I use the green crystal to turn back into a fish that I'd recorded, fish are the only classifications that cannot stomp on enemies by jumping on them. You can see their tongue attack there that they use before they run away takes off 2 hit points, whereas just bumping into them takes off 1. The reason I'm sticking around and farming these guys is, 1, so I can get a particular upgrade, which will help me out, and 2, so I can show off this. There's a day-to-night cycle in E.V.O. past the first chapter. At night, some creatures will respond differently. For example, you'll see here, the Ikustegas go to sleep. Makes it easier to hunt them, because you don't have to sleep. So let's get the first upgrade I want. Let's see. I think I need some more. Alright. Eat a few more of them. I wonder if I can upgrade my tail yet. Yeah, okay, I can give myself the power tail. The reason this helps is I can now jump high enough to reach the dragonflies. There we go. See if I can catch it. Okay, yeah, I like the Ikustegas. It only takes 2 bites to kill one in my current state. There we go, and then just stomp them both down. And there were 30, which is 3 times the amount of the Ikustega, so I'll probably want the dragonflies more. There's one more upgrade I want to grab before we go. If I can catch that dragonfly, or this one, I'll have enough. We'll upgrade Jaws to Ikustega Jaws. There we go. I'll show off why I wanted this. Oh, unless I can't catch him. That's fine. Let's move on to the next area. Now we enter the land of Bull Ikustega. These are the more common ones we see throughout the game. Aside from the tail, they kind of look exactly like me, only they look a little grumpier than my one currently looks. Apparently my strength is upgraded by the power tail so that my attacks do 3 points of damage. I can also jump high enough to catch the dragonflies and eat them. Yeah, unlike the timid Ikustegas, these ones attack you. When they spot you, they'll perform a jumping bite attack, or they'll try to jump on you, and as you can see, they're clobbering me when they fight 2 at a time. This is the reason I want those upgrades, though. Not only do I have more health, like a little more health, but a single attack, either biting them or ramming into them, will take them out instantly, since they have 3 hit points. Of course, catch the dragonflies, since they're worth more. And the day-to-night cycle still applies. I think the dragonflies disappear completely at night, and then just these guys are sleeping. So we'll run around at night and take out a few of these guys while they sleep and get some free E.V.O points that way. Got up to 300, I can show off the new thing. You'll notice neck is not available. It wasn't available in the fish age either. Hands and feet's also gone. Funny enough, hands and feet was only available in the first chapter as a fish. It will come back in a later chapter, but only for 1 level, and, well, you'll see when I get to that point. Anyway, I want to check out back of the head. This is one of the exceptions to when things are the more expensive thing being the best one. You'll see here, all 4 of them are the same price. Whooper, Carol, Jeprol, and Morimer. For this run, I'll pick Jeprol. The reason I want this one is because it increases your biting power. If I go to capability, you'll see my biting power has gone up to 8. Not that I needed more biting power, I got a critical meat off of that one. He was worth 80 instead of just 15. Show off this real quick. If you're up in the air when you make a piece of meat appear, it'll float up into the air to your level. I guess this is to help you get the meat in case the body fell down somewhere low. The meat will come back up to you. I'm gonna try to get one more upgrade. Alright, let's see. Can I get a body upgrade? Well, not really. You can see how expensive the armor body is. 5,000? I mean, that'll be worth it, but I can't afford it yet. So let's move on to the next area. This is where we'll probably be farming for a while, the land of amphibians. It says, "Get out, stranger. This land is owned by the Elder, who takes care of plants." What plants? He's not doing a very good job then, is he? You got these guys. These guys are a little more aggressive than the dragonflies, but are worth the same amount of E.V.O points when you eat the meat. Technically, I don't even have to bite them. My ram attack is strong enough to defeat them. And I'm probably not going to go for the armor body, but I can go for some other upgrades. Let's see. I wanted to, I could probably get the, either the thorn or the jumping dorsal fin for 1,000. They also have an Edosaurus dorsal fin. 1,000 isn't too hard to get. But yeah, this area is not the most exciting since you do a lot of grinding for E.V.O points. That's because the next area is where the boss will be, or at least one boss. You might remember I took out the King Kurosalich in the first chapter. Well, he was the only boss of Chapter 1. There's multiple bosses in chapters from this point onward. Alright, it's turning nighttime, so now I can help myself to some free E.V.O points. Since these enemies will go down while sleeping. Almost to 1,000. Alright, now I can upgrade my dorsal fin. I think we'll grab the thorn dorsal fin for this playthrough. Looks like this. I got some, like, horns on top. You see it raises my strength to 8. You also notice my hit points are now at 33. So now I do 8 damage, both with the bite and the ram attack. I could probably try this. This build's probably good enough, but we'll try. See what happens. I'm gonna go to the boss level. This is the first boss of the chapter. The land of boss Ikustega. It says, I congratulate you on passing through the protected land, but this is the final area. I am the strongest of the Ikustega family. I am Debustega. Boo boo. Did you laugh at me? Do you think my body looks funny? I know you were laughing at me. You make me very angry. What's funny is I've seen playthroughs of people coming to this boss, and they end up having a build that makes them look almost exactly like him. And he says, I'm going to defeat you. Now this is a pretty tricky boss for first-time players, because he has a couple of extra attacks. You can see he's doing the projectile vomit attack that he has. Yeah, he has a couple of pretty nasty moves. Like the jump attack in particular, that's the one you want him to use. Yep. I knocked him far away that time. Oh, kind of tricked me there. Alright, if I can get him a pattern, I can win. And I did win. So yeah, this form with the upgrades I have was enough to beat the boss. So we can walk out of here. And we find out the true story of what's going on. The elder says, you are great. The child says, you are strong. Considering your great strength, I have something to ask you. Could you do me a favor? Now, you can say no, but they'll just keep repeatedly asking the question until you say yes. It's one of those but thou must moments, which makes sense for Enix since they did make Dragon Quest and all that. So we'll just go ahead and say yes. Thank you. Actually, this land used to be covered with plants. Suddenly, insects started to evolve extremely abnormally. These insects ate all of the plant life, leaving this place like a desert. They are trying to eat any remaining plants found around the area. They've refused our proposal to coexist, and now they are attacking our people. The father of this child went to try and persuade them, but he has never returned. Let's see, could you please help us? And there we hear, for the first time in this playthrough, the sad music that plays in that originally came from the Shinkaron. Usually you'd come across this music when you find dead bodies and such, and it's been remixed a couple of times in the Super Nintendo game that I'm playing. In Search for Eden, you'll mostly hear this one, but there is another version of this that'll play during another major event of the game. And, yeah, for now, we'll continue onward. So you'll see this new area is opened on the right side, where there aren't any plants at all. So if we go here, we enter the domain of Profasoo. And the Profasoo are ancestors of cockroaches. Those pesky amphibians are coming again. And this music actually doesn't come from the Shinkaron. It's basically the insect theme. It's actually not that bad a theme. It gives you that sense that the insects are dangerous and not to be messed with. And the insects are indeed a dangerous foe in Search for Eden, so I'll show off. See if I can grab another upgrade here now that I have 1,000. And if I want the armor body, I need a lot more E.V.O points. To get Fierce Jaws, I need 1,500, which I'll probably go for. You'll notice all the Profasoo here come at me from the right side, moving left. I'm going to move back a bit more so that they can come at me some more. Because I want to grind up that 1,500 to get the Fierce Jaws. So far, so good. Grab this. Then we'll evolve Jaws to the Fierce Jaws. Now you'll see my biting power is at 15. Normally it would be 10, but because I have the Jep roll, it brings it up by 5, which brings me to 15. Now you'll see how dangerous these insects really are. At night, they come out in greater numbers and on both sides of you. One of them dropped me a critical meat, though, worth 150. Yeah, they actually get more numerous and more aggressive at night. So we'll go ahead and eat a few more, and then on our way out, we'll just step out through here. Alright, next stage. Domain of Giant Bee. Yeah, here we see some giant bees, as they just said. And they're snatching up these young Ikustegas and carrying them off. Now, you can actually attack and eat the young Ikustegas, but they aren't worth that many E.V.O points, and for whatever reason, their meat makes you lose health. I can probably demonstrate that off real quick. Bite one of these. You'll see they drop a meat like anything else, but if I eat it, it gives me 20 E.V.O points, less than the Hornets, and takes off 5 health. Whereas the giant bees give me 50 E.V.O points and restore 5 health when I eat them. Yeah, mostly they'll focus on trying to catch the child Ikustegas, at least during the daytime. I'll show off what happens at night. I managed to hit him, although I was going for a bite. There we go. Right now, the bite is my highest damage attack. Yeah, they go for a stinging attack on you. Here's what happens at night. They become more aggressive. You'll see this one's trying to carry off another young Ikustega. Alright, now eventually they should show up, and I'll show you what they do now. There aren't any child Ikustega. Instead, the Hornets will aggressively attack you. Right now I'm getting clobbered by them. Let's see. I can change something. Give myself the model body, that might save me. Let's see what happens real quick. If I run for it, they should avoid getting me. I can eat this flying bug to get some health back. And for eat that skeleton to get a point of health. Get him. Alright, let's get out of here. Oops. I want to leave. I'm done with this place. Again, since it's daytime, the giant bees will leave me alone and go for the child Ikustegas. So let's head to the next fight. Or, well, the next hunting ground, really. The Land of Insect. In this area, it's kind of the same thing, except now all of the giant bees are already carrying young Ikustegas, and will be flying off with them. And like before, I can chow down on them. Again, at night, they won't be carrying child Ikustegas, and will instead just come after you and try to sting you. I've almost got enough... No. Almost to 2,000. Get up to 2,000, I'll leave this level. And we'll move on to the next one. Next we have the Cave of the King Bee. First, this Ikustega comes out. It looks different from the others. He says, "I was supposed to try and persuade the King Bee, but I have been badly injured. Is there anyone who can tell the King Bee how important living in peace is? Sir, you look very strong. I have a favor to ask of you. I am about to pass away soon. Please eat the food I have collected so that you may become strong enough to defeat the King Bee. If you can defeat the King Bee, it will enable the plants to recover and grow again. But I wish I would have met my son before I pass away. Farewell, my son." So this must have been the father of the child Ikustega. He gives you a critical meat that's worth 1,000. Question is, can I spend that up to get anything I really want? I can get a thorny springtail. But the question is, am I better off saving up for the armor body? I think I actually will get the thorn springtail. There we go. Show this off. Now my jumping power is really high, and I think my agility goes up too. Yeah, to 8. My defensive power also goes up a bit. So I think what we'll do for this part is we'll wrap up by defeating the King Bee. We get the ominous theme again. I gotta eat all these bee larvas to get the King Bee to come out. One of them is critical meat worth 100. Yeah, the father always drops that piece of critical meat, so you can see how it's like a flashing meat. Yeah, the larvas are normally worth 20, but critical is worth 100. Here's the last one, if I can catch it. Then I move to the right, and the King Bee starts talking. "Here comes another amphibian. You have evolved strangely. Did you use the crystal's power? As I said before, the only way to satisfy our large appetite is to devour all of the plant life we can find. If you feel the way we have chosen to live is wrong, maybe you should change it. You may only change it one way, though, by force." And then the boss fight with the King Bee begins. He'll come out and he'll start shooting at me. His attack pattern is he shoots a bunch of stingers at you, and then he tries to personally come up and sting you. Since I have the thorny springtail, though, I can kind of cheese him by jumping up and biting him each time. And he's beaten. He drops me some nice big chunks of meat worth 300 each. That'll get me closer to buying the armor body. Step out here and the victory theme plays. It says, "Ha ha ha, I am a dragonfly. You may call me Megausu." You got it. I didn't agree with the way of the King Bee either. I will give you some advice. You have no strong enemies ahead. At this point you don't need to evolve. The Sand Eater in the next area is very strong. I suggest you run away. Hold on, what? Let's go ahead and stomp him and eat his meat. He's worth the other dragonfly. Also, I think he was kind of lying to me. He said there were no strong enemies ahead, then told me that there's a strong enemy ahead that I shouldn't try to fight. What's that all about? So as you'll see, we move into this next area, and the desert continues. So we're not done yet. In the next part, we'll head in and find out what this Sand Eater is that he said is supposed to be very strong. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you for the next video.